Yesterday, when I was getting ready to hop in the shower, I received this long text message from my sister, who is about 10 years younger than I am. And she was telling me that she was getting kind of nervous about high school. So, first of all, I thought, wow, she's getting into high school now. I'm really aging in Godspeed. Second of all, I realized high school felt like such a long time ago. And the reason why she was so stressed was because she is finally realizing that, one, I'm about to be, like 16, 17, heading into that direction. I still don't really know what I want to do, don't know what kind of classes I should take in high school. I'm just afraid about growing up. And it's understandable. It seems like a lot of uncertainties are ahead of you. You feel like you don't have everything in control, and parents are pressuring you to figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life. Now, I understand why parents are concerned because they want their kids to realize how important high school potentially is. And if you lack that motivation to do well in this period of your life, it could eventually affect how you perform for the rest of your life. So I understand why our parents are pressuring her. At the same time, I'm kind of standing at the end of the tunnel, waving at her, because I've been through high school already. Even though it was a few years ago, I still have some opinions about what are some things that you should do and some things that you probably should not do. So I've bundled up my experiences, and here are some quick tips about how to survive high school from your very own sister. Oh God, high school. To be honest, high school wasn't so bad for me because I went to a relatively smaller high school. I think the entire population was about 400 students, give or take. It was designed in a way where each year would have 100 students coming in. Now, the reason why it was so small, not because we were in a small town, it was because our high school was some sort of an experimental high school. At that time, they just launched PBL, which stands for Project Based Learning. So it was a little bit different than traditional high school, and that's why they had to keep the classes so small. Now, next to our high school, there was a regular high school as well, but that high school was always chaotic, just like a regular traditional American high school. But there were some elements that we envied. For example, we did not have a football team or any other sports team because we had fewer students and we weren't able to, I guess, fund sports teams. So the only thing closest to a sports team that we had was robotics. So we would fundraise for a robotics team and they would travel to different states and compete and stuff. However, we could go and try out at the regular high school, and if we got in, we can participate in their team. So because we don't have sports team, we don't really have those like football team drama, cheerleading drama. That was not something I had to deal with in high school. Thank God. But since you are going to a regular high school, since my sister is going to be a part of a regular high school, it's bound to happen. There's more people at your school, so there's going to be more conflicts, more drama. Sometimes it's inevitable, it's hard to avoid, but it kind of depends on who your friend groups are. So, I mean, you've done a great job keeping or making friends that support you, that are a positive influence in your life. So as long as you keep your circles tight-knitted, I think you will be all right, as long as you don't, I guess, actively get into drama. I do know that you're planning on joining the volleyball team. I think that's a great thing to join sports team when you're in school. It teaches you a lot of things, sportsmanship, responsibilities, and there's just this feeling of being in a team. I feel like when you're competing, it's almost like everyone is in sync, and it's a very magical feeling. It's not really describable, but everyone is on the same frequency, and you don't necessarily need words to communicate. It's like everyone just instinctively respond in a certain way, and you can just feel the energy when you're competing. And I think that's especially true when you are a part of a team sport. I was in tennis, so not necessarily team sports, although I do enjoy playing doubles instead of just singles, since when it's double, you can collaborate with your partner and it really shows the chemistry between you two on how you tackle a match. So when you're in a team sport, I think one, it helps you bond with your teammates, and also it just teaches you how important you can be in a team setting. So I thought that was great that you finally decided to join team sports, because I know when you were younger, you loved playing sports, and then middle school happened and you didn't really like to do outdoor activities anymore. So one, it's going to be good for your health. Two, I think it will be good for your mental development as well. My sister also sent me a picture of the what did she call it? I forgot what it was called. It was like class schedule or something. And I was like, what's that? She's like, oh, basically these are the classes that I select to take for my high school class. I was like, oh, because for my high school, the experimental high school, it was a little bit different. We all had to take principles of engineering and then math, physics. They call it philgebraic. It's physics and algebra. Wait. Basically, they mashed two classes together in order to fit with their curriculum, but everything was kind of like mixed together in a weird way. So we didn't really get to learn one thing completely. We just kind of learned like 50% of two different subjects. Anyways, she showed me her class schedule, and I saw that she was taking foreign language, which was Japanese, and then also business, some sort of an intro to business. And as for foreign language, I am so jealous because my school was small. We didn't really have a wide range of foreign languages that we could choose from. The only thing offered was a brand new course, and it was, what was it? It was Spanish. And I studied Spanish for 4 years. Now, have I retained anything? No. The reason why I stayed in Spanish for a year was the teacher who had started it begged us to stay in his class so that he can keep that class alive. So I stayed in that class, goofed around for 4 years. Was that a mistake? Absolutely, because I could have picked up some Spanish. Since I lived in Texas, it would have been so useful. But my sister chose Japanese, which is good for her because it was something that she's interested in. And I think interest plays a big part on how well you can learn or how much motivation you have to learn a new language. Japanese is not easy. It's almost like Chinese. But my sister refused to learn Chinese, so she lost her Chinese touch. Here she is, trying to learn Japanese for Naruto and all the other animes. I'm not judging her for that. Good for you for wanting to learn something new. So I hope she will enjoy her time in Japanese 1. And I think it would be beneficial for her in the long run. Not because she can now read mangas without translation, but also, learning a new language is an exciting experience. You get to look into the linguistics and also culture of a different country in this vast world that we occupy. There's so much to explore. If she wants to visit Japan one day, we wouldn't be so worried about her because we know that she has some little foundation of Japanese. So if she gets lost, she can ask for help. And if she gets stranded somewhere, she could possibly call the police and be like, "모시모시, 助けてください." I don't know, something like that. I know that she will be 10 times better than what I could do because the only thing I can say is probably 1, いただきます, and 2, すみません, 일본어가話せません, which means, the first one means, just like 잘 먹겠습니다. I would eat this food deliciously. And the second thing that I said was, I'm so sorry, I cannot speak Japanese. And those are both things that I picked up from my trip to Japan. Now, regarding your concern or her concern about what she wants to do in the future, like what she wants to do in college, it's okay to not know right now because high school is a time where you get to take different classes and find out what intrigues you. So you decided to pick a business class, and I think that's a good start. And you can also, if they offer any like finance class or other areas for you to kind of dip your toes in and test the water, see how it goes. Because worst case scenario, if you really don't have like dreams or ambition, some people think it's super important to have dreams or ambition. Oh, I want to become this. Like I want to start my own company, blah, blah, blah. I mean, if you do, good for you. Some other people don't have that. And sometimes it's okay to not have big ambitions. Sometimes for others, surviving each day is an accomplishment. And if you don't have a specific goal or specific person that you want to become, studying in the business world or around money will never be a bad move because if you understand how money works, you can make money from your knowledge, right? Regardless of how the economy is, regardless of what field you're in, you always need to understand money. So you will always be valuable in some way. And aside from all the classes that they offer at the school, you also have clubs like organization, blah, blah, blah. I remember one of the biggest club in high school was Key Club. Key Club and also Lions Club. And I think Lions Club might just be a Texas thing, I'm not sure. Key Club, Lions Club, Student Council, and other clubs. So clubs like business club or chess club, blah, 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 other clubs. When I was in high school, I joined the BPA, which stands for Business Professionals of America. And in BPA, you basically compete as young professionals. So I did web design and also, what is it? Logo design? Some sort of a logo design event. I forgot the name of it. But through BPA, I was able to learn. First of all, that's where I learned Photoshop and Dreamweaver, Flash, which I don't remember how to use them anymore. And also learn a little bit about coding and things like that. They offer me resources for me to enrich my knowledge. And that was a very good opportunity, regardless of how well I competed at the competitions. For me, another thing that was so attractive about this club was that I get to compete out of states. Out of states? In state, but in other cities. And for me, that was a big, big leap of freedom. Since I'm always at home, my parents doesn't really allow me to socialize with my other friends. So it was great for me to get away for a weekend and compete for a few days. When we all dress up in slacks and then like with our blazers and stuff like that, I truly felt like I was my own person and I'm heading into these venues and presenting my products and testing and designing all these things. It gave me this illusion that I had my life in control. And also to be in like a banquet setting, it just felt like I am growing up. I'm not a kid anymore. My parents not accompanying me on this trip. I'm just out here with my team, with my supervisor, with my friends. It felt like hitting two birds with one stone. I'm broadening my network and I'm also, getting better at my social skills and things as such. So I really thoroughly enjoyed competing and learning and creating and just networking when I was in this club for about 4 years. And obviously, since you're in a bigger high school, you're going to have a wider selection, which would be great for you. You get to explore things from left and right, maybe some things as hobby, I don't know, chess, volleyball. If you're really serious about it, you can go to tournaments and stuff like that. And I think that would be a great experience for you. Not just because I like Haikyuu, also because, our mother is, or should I say was, a professional athlete. So by being an athlete yourself, even though it's just for like a very, very small segment of your time, maybe you will be able to understand how mom or why mom does things her way most of the time. So it could be a bonding opportunity for you and her as well. Now, aside from evolving academically, you're also, expanding your perspective and becoming more mature as a person. It's going to be a stage where you might feel confused about who you are, but eventually, as you age, and as we all age, everyone is still trying to figure out who they really are. But this is a time where you get to know yourself and you get to develop what kind of person you are. So even though it will be hard at times, it will feel confusing at times, you always have a support group next to you, your family, and then also your friends. Your friends probably know you better than we do because you guys hang out all the time, you guys chat all the time. So it's important to pick who you want to keep around to accompany you through this journey of self-discovery. And I think I'm lucky to say that the people I chose to be my high school friends really helped me stay safe and not get into any trouble. So I'm very grateful for that. And I think for you, I have good faith in you for selecting the right people as your crewmates. Now, there will come a time where you can't really make decisions or you don't understand if... No. There's going to be a time where you have a lapse in judgment. Sometimes it will be harder for you to choose between what is right and what is wrong because the lines are so blurry. If you cannot judge for yourself, use me. Just if you don't feel comfortable asking me, just think about what would be my reaction if you told me that you did this thing, or think about how our parents react. Generally, if it's something that you think I won't do, maybe you should not do either. But if you really, really want to know how to decide, you can always text me and I will always answer you. Unless it's something that is out of my knowledge, then I will try to find out and answer for you. But the general rule of thumb is if it's something that I would not do, don't do it. If it's something that feels illegal or wrong, don't do it. Just keep yourself safe because we cannot be there to shield you from any potential harm. And you're a good kid, so I trust your judgment. We're still in January, and I think your semester in high school starts in August. So there's still a few months left before you actually, head into that direction. So my advice for you is right now, don't slack off, be on your A game, and finish strong. Regardless of what you want to do in the future, it's always good to have a strong academic performance because that keeps a lot of doors open for you. So it reserves a lot of opportunities for you. If by the end of high school somehow you still feel undecided, there is an undecided major in college, and that's the reason why it exists, because sometimes people just don't end up figuring themselves out all the way through high school and eventually in college as well. But nothing will change unless if you make the effort to try and look for a solution. So be on the lookout, try new things, break out of your comfort zone, and you never know what intrigues you unless if you try it, right? So best of luck in high school. You will do fine. I hope you will enjoy your time and enjoy what you find out about yourself, what you find out about the world, and be hopeful of your future because There are endless possibilities out there waiting for you to sign up. Thank you for listening to the 21st podcast of Lactose Intolerant. This was a message to my sister, but also potentially anyone who is heading into high school and are feeling uncertain. Well, don't be afraid. The world is your oyster. It's cliche, but it's true. And I can't wait to see what kind of person you become in the future. So stay safe and have fun.